Well, guys, the situation of US politics is getting very interesting. President Trump has started humiliating Vice President of USA, JD Vance. It's very important. I request you to watch the video till the end. First of all, take a look at this clip, guys.
So Josh Wingrove posted this morning. Trump tells the Post that Vance is already on his way to Pakistan for Iran talks. This is what happens when the president doesn't even receive intelligence briefings in a proper way. He doesn't know who is where. He doesn't know which members of his team are negotiating or aren't negotiating.
Yeah, first president said JD Vance is not heading towards Pakistan due to security issue. Now, Vice President JD Vance is heading towards Pakistan for negotiations with Iran. And Trump also claimed, we have won this war. President Trump also said, I don't care what is the outcome of this peace deal.
These are important details. It might seem like I'm kind of nitpicking that the president doesn't know if JD Vance is there or not, but this is very serious. These are serious details that the president doesn't even know. President Trump early this morning dismissed Iran's claims that it will not participate in the latest rounds of peace negotiations in Pakistan, as he told the Post he'd be willing to meet with senior Iranian leaders if a breakthrough is reached. Quote, we're supposed to have the talks, Trump said in a brief interview, brushing aside doubts about whether negotiations would fall apart. So I would assume at this point, nobody's playing games. The president on Monday confirmed Vice President J.D. Vance, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, and advisor Jared Kushner have left the U.S. for Islamabad to prepare for meetings. Remember, this is the New York Post article that ended up being false because Trump gave them false information. It actually wasn't the New York Post that got it wrong. It was Trump that gave them the false info. Quote, they're heading over now, Trump said. They'll be there tonight, Islamabad time. The timeline underscores the urgency surrounding the talks. But then we kind of learned Trump doesn't know if Iran's doing the talks. And Trump said it's fine if Iran doesn't even attend the Pakistan talks at all. The New York Times then updated us a bit later. And I'm sorry if this timeline is a bit confusing. I'm trying to clear it up as well as I can, but it's because Trump keeps contradicting himself. The fact that the negotiations are being prepared and held in such a sloppy manner should scare every single American. It is clear.
Yeah, Trump is actually confusing even Americans. That's insane.
Here, the U.S. is desperately looking for an off-ramp, and when you tell J.D. Vance yesterday he's not going, and today he is going, then he's clearly not going to be prepared. It's like if you had a pop quiz surprised on me at noon, but I only learned about this pop quiz at 11:30 a.m., you have to give people time to prepare for things or else they're going to be fucked. Vice President Vance is now expected to leave Washington for Pakistan on Tuesday, we learn. Okay, so Donald Trump just said that he was on his way to Islamabad, but Trump is wrong. He doesn't even know where his own vice president is. Probably doesn't even communicate with J.D. Vance. His second trip there for talks with Iran, according to two U.S. officials. President Trump has issued a number of conflicting statements about the talks, including telling the New York Post on Monday morning that Vice President had already left for negotiations. The official spoke on condition of anonymity to discuss the sensitive negotiations. All right, the way this is written, it seems like anonymous officials had to hit up the New York Times to correct the fuck up that Trump created with the New York Post. Trump told the New York Post wrong information about J.D. Vance, and the New York Times had to be reached out to by anonymous officials to correct that information. I then want to reiterate the news that Trump says it's fine if Iran is not even at the Pakistan talks. Trump said,
well, guys, I can confirm you, I'm here in Pakistan. I'm covering this topic. I can tell you JD Vance, the Vice President of USA, is coming right here. It's confirmed. It's almost confirmed because I can see the situation. The hotels are closed. The schools are closed. The offices are closed. Even the city is in a lockdown right now. So that means the security is very high. The security is even very, very high. So that means JD Vance is coming. And if the peace deal, if the outcome is positive about the peace deal, then President Trump might also come to Pakistan.
He doesn't even know if Iran is going to be attending the talks in the first place. This means he's sending J.D. Vance into essentially a failed negotiation. What do you think is going to happen in 48 hours or so when the negotiations are over and we learn that either Iran didn't attend or if Iran does attend, that they broke no ground whatsoever? That's going to look very, very bad for JD Vance in the future of his political career. Again, Vance is now expected to leave Washington tomorrow. Kind of scary that Donald Trump and JD Vance don't even seem to be communicating or talking at all. Trump sent a True Social out about 2 hours ago and said, Israel never talked me into the war with Iran. The results of October 7th, added to my lifelong opinion that Iran can never have a nuclear weapon, did. I watch and read the fake news pundits and polls in total disbelief. 90% of what they say are lies and made up stories. The polls are rigged, much as the 2020 presidential election was rigged. Just like the results in Venezuela, which the media doesn't like talking about, the results in Iran will be amazing. And if Iran's new leaders, regime change, are smart, Iran can have great and prosperous future. I mean, this is all deranged lunacy. Let's just run through this very quickly. Opening off your post with Israel never talked me into the war with Iran does not instill a lot of confidence. He's clearly been watching people like, I don't know, me, but not specifically me. He's been watching people on TV who've been saying what I've been saying and what you've been saying, that Israel pulled him into this war by pitching this to him and making a fool of him, right? It's very, very clear what happened.
Yeah, people are questioning Trump. That's why Trump is posting like this.
He then says, Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. Okay, I actually agree with that, but we've gotten nowhere near closer to Iran not having a nuclear weapon. They're probably more incentivized to have one now.
But the supreme leader who is not in this world right now is the supreme leader of Iran. Multiple times he said, we are not going to make nuclear weapon. He agreed to President Obama as well. Do you remember the Obama deal?
Then says the fake news polls and pundits are lying about him. He says the presidential election was rigged. These are all just insane lies to divert from reality. The polling shows that he's the least popular president in American history, only second to, well, I guess the only comparable person is him in his first term, which is kind of funny. He says, just like the results in Venezuela, the media doesn't like talking about, the results in Iran will be amazing. This is the fundamental flaw with Donald Trump's Iran strategy. Trump thinks that Iran is going to be the exact same as Venezuela, where if you cut off the head, the rest of the body will fall in line and the regime will change. No, it might have sort of worked in Venezuela. It didn't really even work, but it sort of worked in the sense that things quieted down very quickly. It's not going to work in Iran. The regime is, what's the word? Resilient. The regime is very resilient. Dan Goldman points out the commander-in-chief was excluded from commanding a military operation because he was acting so crazy. Think about that. Trump is not well. We need the 25th Amendment before something really bad happens on U.S. soil. Well, guess what? At least we have JD Vance going to represent us. The same JD Vance who will do the bidding for Donald Trump and even say the Pope should be careful what he says. Listen.
When the Pope says that God is never on the side of those who wield the sword, there is more than a 1,000-year tradition of just war theory. Okay? Now, we can, of course, have disagreements about whether this or that conflict is just, but I think that it's important, in the same way that it's important for the Vice President of the United States to be careful when I talk about matters of public policy, I think it's very, very important for the Pope to be careful when he talks about matters of theology. And
they are attacking Pope. And can you imagine a lot of people, Catholic people, they have voted for President Trump in the previous election.
I'm pretty sure the Pope knows what he's talking about regarding theology. You're telling the Pope to be careful?
Yeah.
One of these issues here is that there has been, again, hey, random dude screaming, I told you I'd respond to your point. I just want to respond to this question first. But
oh no, random dude screaming. Don't point out that we're committing a genocide in the middle of my speech attacking the Pope. Are we serious here? Trump, I want to show you this very quickly. Trump created a new account called White House in Arabic, or I guess the people around him created it. Of course, he didn't create it himself. This White House in Arabic account is supposed to be punching back at the Iranian accounts that are completely humiliating Trump on a daily basis. And they posted, Iran has announced that the strait is fully open and ready for passage. But the moment they posted this, we began to get reporting that the strait was closed again on April 17th. This is perhaps the most humiliating part of all of this. Trump keeps making grandiose announcements on the global stage, and then nobody cares anymore. Nobody thinks he's serious. Nobody thinks he'll follow through. Nobody is intimidated. They just keep pushing back, and that is bad for American national security. I'm going to leave it there. We're going to see what JD Vance is able to pull off as he visits Pakistan for the second time. I don't have much faith in JD Vance, Steve Witkoff, and Jared Kushner, but of course,
Well, what I can tell you is JD Vance is coming to Pakistan today. When you're watching this video, he might be in Pakistan, and it's the second round of peace talk. Trump said, what I think when Trump posted the Strait of Hormuz is open, and he said, thank you, Iran. But after 1 or 2 days, they closed that once again. So is this a power of a superpower country and the president of the superpower country? What's going on? He's also claiming we have won this war. And if he already won this war, that was about to end this conflict completely. They are now sending negotiation teams, the delegation of USA, including JD Vance and Kushner, to Pakistan for the negotiations with Iran. So yeah, Adam Mockler was right. It's not a Venezuela, it's Iran. And Trump is facing humiliation globally. That's not the same USA that was under Biden. It's completely changed now. What do you want to say? What is your opinion? And what would be the outcomes of this second peace deal under JD Vance? What do you want to say? I want to know about your opinion because your opinion matters a lot. I really enjoy reading your comments. Please comment under my video. And I'm a student of US politics and you're the teacher. You have to teach me the correct politics of USA. I'll bring more important videos for you. Till then, please take care of yourself. Please take care of your health as well. It's very important.